Perfect. So, guys, today I have Cerina with me, who has been with us for around 3.5, 4 months now. So, Cerina, if you can just quickly run through your background and what you're currently doing as a coach, please.
Sure. So I new to the online fitness space. I just started almost a year ago. It's been a journey since then, but for the most part, I'm coaching just women online, just teaching them about healthy habits and really just diving into the deep ends of what it is that is preventing them from um, reaching their results and really just helping them overcome those. So it's been a journey in trying to set everything up so far, especially in as far as the business space, but it's been going pretty well so far.
Nice. Love it. So, do you mind sharing what kind of stuff did you try before you actually worked with us? So, like strategies, coaching, courses, free challenges, things like that.
I tried a lot. So I started off with an initial coach, which was pretty good with laying out the foundation. We did a lot of free challenges, a lot of giving value and that kind of thing. So it was great for the foundation. But I felt like there was a lot missing from that particular program. So I tried three other coaches after that. We did continuously posting content. We did a lot of giving live videos, giving value and that kind of thing. Did a lot of cold DMing.
Mhm.
Um, did a lot of time consuming things. Free challenges are great, but I feel like there's a lot that goes into that for the amount of money or the amount of clients that are actually willing to work with you after that. I feel like there's kind of a disconnect with that. The cold DMing, it's extremely time consuming and it's honestly, you may or may not. I feel like out of 100 people, you may get maybe 4 or 5 sales calls and then maybe only one signs up. So I feel like those types of strategies puts a lot more time into it's a lot more time consuming for you as it is than just having kind of clients reach out to you. So I did a lot of things, it was good to try these things and do these things, but at the end of the day, it just ultimately didn't really work for me.
Okay. So when you say it didn't really work for you, how much in total did you invest in coaching before and how much ROI did you get?
So it's been about so far 15,000, I would think,
Mhm.
as far as investing. And I would say that's before coming to your program.
Right.
And I only maybe got back maybe about 7 or 8,000 of that. So really there was no return on investment really. I was still in the hole.
Gotcha. Okay. And you've made around 7 to 8,000. In what time frame?
I would say from April until maybe October of last year. So that would have been before coming to your program. So basically all of last year for the most part.
So that was at like around 1K a month in revenue
Yeah, it was.
average. Okay. What was your thought process then in terms of investing for a fourth time?
I was pretty much drained, to be honest with you, especially with it being such a big investment and not really seeing the results that I wanted to see, not really being able to get clients and having to put so much work in. It was extremely draining, but at the
Mhm.
same time, I knew there had to be a coach out there that really just um, really poured in everything they knew into me as well without the disconnects as far as like marketing content, the best ways to really just put yourself out there and be different from other people. I feel like a lot of the coaches that are currently out here, they all teach the same things, and that's where my money was going. Basically from one coach teaching something to one coach teaching something slightly different. So it was extreme, like it was really hard for me to want to invest, but at the same time, I wanted to get my business off the ground and I felt like there was someone out there. So I mean, you go from bad coach to, well, I won't say bad coach, but you go from different coaches to
Yeah.
different coaches and you find one that actually fits you. So investing for the fourth time was extremely hard. And then even trying to go to invest this fifth time with you was just like, if this doesn't work, I don't know what else I'm going to do. So I was kind of at like the end of it because
Mhm.
I literally had maxed out all the money I had, all my credit cards. There was literally nothing left. So if it didn't work out, I don't know what I was going to do.
Yeah, and honestly, that's really admirable because a lot of the time, especially in this space, people invest once and they don't really have a great experience, and then they're kind of scared, rightfully so, to invest again in case they get burned a second time. So for you, what was that? I mean, I assume you were like pretty scared, right? But what was that thought process that made you feel like, damn, I have to do this again the fifth time, even though I failed the first four times?
It was really, my thought process was, you have to pretty much, if it's something that you want, you have to be able to take the risk. You're going to fail a few times, especially if it's something that is new to you. Um, but something is out there for you. So my thought process was just keep going and keep going until you find what you need. Um, Basically, you just have to take the risk. If you don't, without risk, there's no great reward. So I guess that was
Mhm.
really what it was. And then once I spoke with someone else about your particular program, and literally it just was like, I seriously needed a lot of hand holding, and that's what I wasn't getting. Because a lot of coaches, they have these huge clientele and no actual time to really go one on one with their clients. And that's literally what I needed.
Mhm.
So I just figured there had to be someone out there that could do that. And if I want to get my business growing, then I need to keep moving. So
Love it.
regardless of how scary it was just like, it's got to get done, I guess.
Right. And what does your kind of boyfriend or husband or partner think?
He said a couple of things about, you keep going from coach to coach. He's like, this is like your fourth coach. You keep going from coach to coach. He's like, what are you doing?
Uh-huh.
But he also understood the fact that this is what I wanted to do. I truly wanted to get it done. So he was still super supportive, even though he may not have completely understood why I just keep jumping from coach to coach and not really getting what I need.
Okay. What does he think now then, now that he's kind of seen you and your business change for the better?
He's super excited. He's
Uh-huh.
super supportive, extremely happy. He kind of gets a little bit more like, okay, she was looking for what it is she didn't have, and it was actually out there for her. So the success that I've been getting so far, he's kind of like blown away too. So we're both kind of like in super
Mhm.
excited land right now.
Amazing. And I also want to talk a bit about your results and the kind of stuff that you achieved in terms of revenue, because for a lot of people, if they've been going about their business trying to build it for a year and they're still only at around 1,000 a month, it can not just be disheartening, but the thought of, making more than 5, 6, 7,000 a month can seem almost impossible. So I'm curious if you had belief issues at the time, and also what was your highest revenue month with us contracted?
Um, yeah, I I went for a while just getting like $2,000, $3,000 a month. Some months I wouldn't even make anything at all, and I would put all the work in. So that was pretty
Hmm.
frustrating too. Um, but really, it's just, I think so. The biggest month that I had with you guys was January, and I made almost 13K.
Hmm.
And I have never made that before. Like I said, sometimes it was like basically 1,000, 2,000 a month. Some months I wouldn't make anything at all. Sorry, what was the other question that you had?
Yeah, that was pretty much that.
Okay,
January, so that was in month 3 with us.
yes. And
Yeah,
even with even like November and December, with those being like holiday months, I
yeah,
made more than, I think between the 2 months I made about 7 or 8K.
yeah.
in holiday months, which, other coaches basically told me, yeah, it's holiday, you're not going to make anything at all. So I really was not looking to make anything, honestly, in November and
Hmm.
December, because I was told it probably wasn't possible, but it was absolutely possible because those were one of the biggest months I had all year.
Wow. So yeah, that's like 4K, 4K, and then 13K. So for you, to the people watching, what do you think was the biggest shift? Or like what tips can you give people that you feel like was responsible for that sudden growth? Apart from higher us.
I guess maybe can you ask that again?
Yeah, what tips do you have? What advice do you have? Or let me ask it in a better way. What do you think was responsible for your rapid growth? What tip can you share to help people make more money?
Gotcha. um, I think it's really just one, just being dedicated. One of the things that I saw was that literally just showing up,
Hmm.
people start to notice you and start to know that you're serious. Also, really just having that belief. If you don't believe that you're able to accomplish certain things and you're already holding yourself back, your mindset's already not in the right place and you're hindering yourself from your growth.
Hmm.
So I think just having the belief that it can be done, being willing to put in the work, and then taking things that you implement, making sure you implement them, and when you have questions, just asking. I think that's a huge part of it, aside from the fact that you have to have a coach that is willing to also work with you and not, I guess, I don't know a good way to say this, but I guess you just have a coach that's invested in you as much as you're invested in what you're doing as well.
Yeah, I love that. And I think one of the reasons why you've been able to achieve the success that you did is because you showed up every day and asked questions and actually made the most out of the support that you had. So for you, what's next? What are the kind of next level goals?
So my next level goals is, so I had my biggest month, 13K. Um, Really, it's trying to make sure that that's consistent. Um, Going forward, my ultimate goal is to really just be in business for myself. So the only way
Mhm.
to do that is to continue to, go even harder than I am now, implement new strategies, and really just my goal is to just hit that consistently going forward
Mhm.
without, sacrificing the quality that I give to my clients.
Love it. Scaling with Facebook ads, which is what we're working on now, and
Yeah.
also scaling
Yep.
fulfillment. Solid. So, final question. What advice do you have for people who started in a similar position as you?
Really just keep going for it, honestly. You really just have to keep going. Like I said, that believability factor, and it's going to be hard, it's going to be frustrating, it's going to be tiring, but with the right help and the right mindset, like there's no limit. Like I'm completely blown away with what I've accomplished in just the 3.5 months that we've been together.
Mhm.
And a lot of it was just pushing and knowing that it could happen, and then having a coach there that's like super invested. So my ultimate advice would just be to keep moving forward and just find that coach that you super connect with, that's just super invested in you as much as you are in what you're doing.
Actually, I say that's the last question, but I do have another question. What advice do you have for people who are looking for a coach in terms of what to look out for? Because you've invested in four coaches, so you probably have some insight as to what advice or what things people should look out for.
I would say one of the things that I've noticed is I went for a lot of coaches that actually guaranteed certain results. So my first three coaches guaranteed, a certain amount of revenue at the end of at the end by the end of the program, and I didn't hit it for any of them.
Hmm.
Um, and I feel like a lot of that is because they're really just trying to get you into their program as opposed to really just telling you what it is they're about. They're like, hey, you can make guaranteed 10K. If not, we'll continue to work with you. And I winded up actually leaving those programs because they they had too many clientele.
Hmm.
So I would say what was different, at least within the program that I'm doing with you, is one, there was a lot of value given up front. So it wasn't, let's get on a call and I'm just going to sell you, but it was, hey, what is it that you're concerned about? What's your issue? Here's a little bit that I can give you so that you can kind of, get going. But ultimately, it was more about me and not about you need to sign up with us.
Hmm.
So I would say just looking out for a coach who's really concerned about what it is that you want, where you're currently at, and not a coach that's like, hey, I have this program that I give to every single person. This is what you need, and they're not even sure where you are or what it is that you really need.
Interesting. That's a new one for sure. So, to those who are watching this, if there's a guarantee, then make sure you really check the validity of the guarantee, I guess, right? Cool. So, finally, where can people find you on social media if they want to check you out?
Sure. So I am on Instagram, cbt.fit, and I am on Facebook, Cerina Turner, or cbt.fit as well.
Love it. All right, everyone, and make sure you check out Cerina on Instagram, cbt.fit, if you want to see a coach who's at 10K months. Okay.